Brands Hatch Indy. So this is session 4. This was after lunch. There'll be some data analysis at the end of the video. If you want, just fast forward to that bit if you know you're pretty tired by now of just watching me going around the track, which is fair enough. So obviously we're pulling up for a marshal inspection and then we're off. They just check your glove, your back protector, all the usual kind of stuff, you know, and that's it. I'm always slower after lunch, by the way, so this is something on every single track. I'm not sure if that's the same with all of your other sort of track warriors, and for me it's just the thing. I don't know, it's something I'll have to learn from one of you guys if that never happens to you. Anyway, the first lap was really slow, and you can see that from the data anyway, but I was sort of really trying to find my sort of feel for the track again. You know, it was a 2-hour gap, so it was a pretty long gap as well. And then I guess that kind of going back on after lunch as well, feeling is sort of like, yeah, you a bit slower. I almost always brake too early here, and if there's a rider in front of me that is even slower, I'm sort of queuing up behind them. I just didn't have that trail braking experience back then. I just, you know, would be off the throttle, on the brakes, then off the brakes, and then turning around. I'm not like hot on, trailing in and exiting. I didn't have any of that experience on this day here prior to this. So, you know, I've learned that more recently thanks to Peter O'Grady at the Barton Advanced Motorcycle School. So there's Mike there on the Repsol Fireblade, and he's fast. He was really tricky to catch up with him at certain points. He would just move off. You know, he's got really good acceleration out of the corners. But this is my favourite hairpin as usual. Just taking that with my typical lean angles. Obviously getting better and better at it. But I must say, like, the first lap, and for the first sort of handful of laps, I just really was trying to find my own zone again. I just simply wasn't that. There's some fast riders here too, so we've got this chap here, and you know, obviously on the right line, everything's targeted, rolling on the throttle, and I'm just holding on to some very poor lines around here, really am. It's just yeah, just completely not optimum. Everybody's just getting past me here. So I've edited this video now. I haven't put every single lap in this because it starts to become repetitive and boring at a point. So there's just some highlights after this that you'll see where I'm going around, and there'll be some comments, some sort of text there to give you an idea of what's going on in my mind. So on this part here off the Paddock Hill Bend, I always slow down behind people, and even if I'm kind of neck and neck with them, I just completely let them go and get past me, which is you know, kind of something I really need to learn. So I just give up this overtake because of that. So, you know, I can go in quicker and trail in and everything now, but back then I just let them pass and come back again, and that's it, just carry on. So, and plus the line itself was a poor entry line. And then you'll see as more and more people start to overtake all of us pretty much, I'm starting to get more motivated as well. So you're going to see soon some fast riders that pretty much get through both of us. That's me, Mike, and I'm like sort of then thinking at that point, okay, need to really start shifting, and I'm starting to feel my zone again. So it does inspire a sort of competition or competitive kind of nature into you as you do more track days. And this is the classic where I always slow down, you know, always too slow on the exit here. But also, look at these riders. They've completely got through me, got through Mike. They're on it. And they're definitely not afraid of leaning. Some of these guys are really going down like 60 degrees easily. And that part, like, kind of motivated me. Okay, get moving, get moving. Nobody likes to be overtaken, right? But I still feel some sort of reservation, especially here at the top of the Paddock Hill turn. So look, I could have easily shot past him and carried on, but I'm just holding back. I'm just like, okay, I'm going to break in and until I'm really slow, like, and then I just carry on, and then he's on the throttle straight away. So look at that, he's jetted off. I'm right behind him now, and it's kind of a typical pattern, and it's something that I need to change in the riding psychology of that fear of overtaking people. I think a lot of it is because obviously You know, I want to get back home on the bike as well. It always plays in your mind, you know. There's a different scene. Things take a different turn here. And this rider's really good. That's the guy there, like 60 degrees, just like hooning it, getting past everybody, you know, on it. And that sort of like motivates me. So I get past this guy. Then I start finally thinking, okay, right, I want to start doing some overtakes as well. So I'm back on it as well. This chap here, he was slow off the go on the blue bike. I think he was a real novice. So, you know, that doesn't count. Overtaking him, everybody did. I start to feel more of a pace now, and I'm starting to feel the urge to want to go quicker. Then everybody starts bunching up here, which is why I back off as well, because I'm thinking, okay, not sure what's ahead, not sure what's happened. But then, you know, I start to realise that they're just finding opportunities to overtake. That's literally all they were doing. And if I would have kept my line up properly and got through, I could have probably have taken quite a few of these. So then I start to think about that a bit more and plan it a little bit more and think, okay, let's start actually doing that. So everybody's obviously tearing ahead here. This is once again very poor lines from my side here, going past the pits. And I could have taken Mike out then, but I didn't. There you go, he's shot back, because once again I'm on the brakes too much for too long and not trailing. So once again these guys pull away. You see how they quickly shot off. They're all trail breakers. And I'm slowing down, everybody's bunching up once again, but I absolutely love this hairpin. I could tear around it quickly. It's just the rest of my riding, especially this exit here, that really lets me down. The line, everything. Then I'm starting to get, okay, let's start doing these overtakes. Talk is cheap, let's do it. You know, I wasn't, I could say like really good on the track at all. Still very much a novice. And this was my first time, obviously, as I mentioned. But I'm starting to feel the urge to overtake. You know, I'm starting to feel the urge to get pushed past people and get past people and start making progress. This chap here, I was a bit nervous about overtaking. And I'm slowing down as usual, but later on you'll see in the video I do actually get past him at a certain point. But it's that hesitation, you know. And this rider in front of me was going pretty fast for a while, and because he's braking I'm kind of thinking, okay, I'm going to stay behind him, see what's going on. But once again, these were all like bad planning and bad sort of thoughts in my mind that held me back. I went for it then anyway, but there's a lot more opportunity I could have had that day. I was just very reserved, and as I said, like after lunch I always feel once again more reserved. Now we're starting to get into the final stages. I think we're going to go into the final lap next. Here we are, last lap. And we just really want to get past this guy. Done. Carrying on. Loving the hairpin. Catch up with Mike a bit later. I got past him again. Second time I've gone past him, but it doesn't count because this is it. We're just getting into the pits now. So he's a fast rider, Mike, on the Repsol Fireblade. And then that's pretty much it. I think that's either an MSV trainer or a Marshall there on the bike with the high vis on. And now you'll get some data analysis and a bit of talk about the data. So on the first screenshot you're going to see the data across the sessions. You'll see, like on session 3 it was really good. Session 4, which we're on now, was obviously much worse, but then it recovered again in session 5. So there is that blip and bounce back after lunch sort of thing, the first session after lunch. And it's not about the speed you're carrying, but it's all pretty much about your lines and your acceleration. This app doesn't compare the differences between different sessions. Within the same session, the previous session, you can see that my best lap had significantly less time. It was like 14 seconds less. And if you look at it, a lot of it was due to this acceleration value, which is a lot better, tighter, and more fluid on that one. If we compare also some of the other values, so I was on the throttle a lot quicker. If we just quickly go back here and go to this one, the stop one's always the worst one. If we go compare that to the best lap, look at the acceleration there. So the Z acceleration there, 117. On the slowest one, 0.95. So it's not necessarily about the top speed, it's also the acceleration, right? So that's how 14 seconds were pretty much shaved off, Y acceleration as well as the Z. So that was, that's the key thing really, is coming out the bends. So look, on the best lap, 54.53. On the other one was 50.52. So I was leaning more, accelerating more, and you can see the lines were better. So the best one is the red one there. You could see how the lines were so different, really, really different there. So I wouldn't necessarily follow that for gospel, because I'm not quite sure how I ended up here where that dot is. That's probably not very realistic, but yeah. But for the rest of it, you can see. Don't forget, this is using the phone's GPS, which is not the same as other types of dedicated trackers, right? For your analysis, like a race box, etc., which are really, really good at that. But you can see that on the best one, the lines were certainly better. Certainly that the GPS is enough for it to pencil some of it, apart from this blip here. Certainly going out of Paddock Hill Bend there, a lot better. I wasn't on the gravel there, so I'm not quite sure why it's showing me there, because I definitely wasn't. But there you go on the worst one. It's just the lines look a lot tighter in and out, and certainly the acceleration and everything else is measured better there. But it's a pity. So this was obviously pre-lunch. This is post-lunch now in this session here, and you can see my best was not that great. Still pretty bad. After lunch, I always find that I am, not always the best as well. Certainly you can see the stats on there not being that great on that one.